Good morning. All right, let me show you guys how I do my meal planning. Share my screen. Okay, so this is what I've started doing that has been super helpful to me, and maybe it'll help you guys. So I lay out each meal for each day of the week. You can see breakfast stays the same every single day. We love these things. So I just make a little bit different of egg cups during, like each week I'll put maybe different meat or different veggies in them. The oatmeal cups pretty much always stay the same. Snacks stays relatively the same. It's not always almonds and a banana, but it typically is. I have a list of snacks that I go off of, and it's typically something from that list. So each week I'll do something a little bit different. Lunch and dinner is what I kind of want to talk about, how I lay these out. So I only do a few recipes per week. So this week I did, this is my menu from a few weeks ago, but I did these recipes that are down here. And the way that I do it is I lay them out so that I can use them, so that I can make a batch of about 3, like, so we can eat the meal 3 times. So there's 4 of us, so 12 servings, I guess. But I don't want to eat it like breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day or whatever, right? So I'll do for lunch, carrot and chickpeas. So see how I did this carrot and chickpeas salad here? So we prepped this up on Sunday, okay? And then for dinner, we did chicken and sweet potato. This is actually super good. An apple. It's in all of these recipes are in the Beachbody recipe area. So we did this for dinner, and I prepped that up. Like we prep all of our chicken on Sunday. I boil it for hours on end so that it's really yummy and just kind of like pulls apart. But we'll do this for dinner, and then see we did it for lunch the next day. And then we did it for dinner, not that night, because you don't want to eat the same thing for lunch as you do for dinner, right? But we did it for dinner the next day. And that's pretty much how I kind of work it. So then you could see on Tuesday, we did the slow cooker chicken tacos. And then for lunch on Wednesday, we did the slow cooker chicken tacos. And then we have the carrot and chickpea salad. And then we have the carrot and chickpea salad on Thursday again. Lentil soup, again, we did the same thing. We did it for dinner on Thursday, then lunch on Friday. And then leftovers, we typically have, and we have the slow cooker chicken taco here again. So I just take the same recipes and I kind of mix them throughout the week, and try to not have lunch and dinner be the same thing. But by the time the weekend comes, we typically have leftovers of all of this stuff. And we have a lot of really yummy food in our fridge. What I prep ahead of time is hard-boiled eggs. So like today when we get home from going to the store, we will prep hard-boiled eggs. We'll prep our chicken. Again, I said I just boil, and you can do this in a crock pot. That's how I used to do it, is I just used to throw, I'd get chicken breast and like I'd put a bunch of spices. Right now we're really hooked on basil, so we do basil, garlic, and salt. And I just put that spice mix in water and I simmer it for like literally 6 hours. And by the time it's done, it just pulls apart. And then I use that water that I simmered it in. If I'm going to make brown rice or quinoa or something, I'll use that water to make the rice so that it gives the rice really good, yummy flavor and some of that chicken goodness too. But other than that, like we will, like this week, we prepped up the carrot and chickpea salad on Saturday. Things that'll keep, like that keeps pretty well. So things that'll keep for a longer period of time we prep up, and then things also that are just time consuming. So I do it this way because that way you're not having to cook like everything on Sunday, because in my opinion, like cooking all day on Sunday is just the worst way to spend a Sunday, right? But I want to be prepared a little bit. But when I cook things during the week, I make a nice big huge batch so that I have stuff to use for the rest of the week, right? So that helps keep it simple. And then having this laid out plan, like all we have to do, if it's just Brian home, like he can just look at the plan and say, oh, okay, this is what's for dinner tonight, you know, and it makes it super simple for him. And for me, I can look at the plan and say, this is what we're having. So anyway, you'll see down here. Cool. well, you see down here, we have, this is all the recipes, right? So I click here and this is the slow cooker taco recipe. So what I do to create my grocery list is I copy all the ingredients, and then I have my grocery list here. I paste them in here, and I do that for each recipe, paste them in. And then anything that I don't have recipes for, like my snacks, like the nuts and anything like that, I add to this list. And then I come over here to this list, and of course it's going to be duplicates because, you know, my chicken and apple dinner and my chicken taco dinner, they both have chicken, right? So I don't want to get to the store and be like, oh man, this one says I need 6 ounces of chicken, and this one says I need 10 ounces of chicken. Have to do that math. Like, that'd be so obnoxious. So I basically take each ingredient and I times it by how many times I'm making the recipe, right? So I'm tripling each recipe. So I would take, let's see, come down here, like the sweet potatoes. If it needed however many sweet potatoes the recipe needed, I would triple it, and then I would just fix that number. And then I go through and do that to everything. And then I would go through and pull out duplicates. So if I had chicken on here twice, and in one I had 2 pounds of chicken, and in one I had 1 pound of chicken, I'd pull the 1 pound of chicken off, and I'd write 3 pounds of chicken. So it makes my list easy to follow, right? So it takes a little bit of time. It takes me maybe 5 minutes to do the grocery list and make it so that it's simple to read. But for me, going to the grocery store is an incredibly overwhelming thing to do. And the simpler that I can make it, the easier it makes my life, the less stressful it makes my life. So taking the extra time here to create an easy to follow grocery list that I know is going to get me all of the groceries that I need to get through the week so that I don't have to make a second grocery store trip is really helpful to me. So I go to the store and I get everything that's on the list. And you know, when I first started doing this, it was so overwhelming to me to think about having to go to the store and get all of this stuff, especially here. I'm in a brand new state. I don't know the grocery stores. I don't know where stuff is in the grocery stores here. And I'm in Texas, where everything is bigger. Literally, all the stores are superstores. There's no normal grocery stores here. They're all freaking huge. And so for the first 2 months that I was doing this new way of meal planning, I grocery shopped online, and that helped me big time. That helped me a ton because I could just put all the stuff in my cart and see what was going on and then just go and pick it up. Now we've started the last 2 weeks, we've started actually going to the grocery store because I realized that grocery shopping online, I didn't have all the options that are actually available in the store. And it saves me a little bit of money to go in because I don't have all the options. So there are less expensive things that I can get, like cuts of chicken or, I have more choices in the store. So I have started going to the store with the grocery list but the first 2 months as I was getting used to it, I did it online. I grocery shopped online. So that's how I do my meal planning. And it has helped me out big time because like I said in this post, before I did meal planning, I would make a grocery list of all the foods that we typically eat, all the healthy foods. I would get those groceries, bring them home, put them in the fridge, and then every single day, I was so frustrated with trying to figure out how to put those foods together into a meal. And a lot of times I was so frustrated with it that I just didn't, and we would just go out to eat instead because I didn't want to, we didn't want to spend the time trying to figure out what to eat. So we would buy all this healthy food, but not have a plan as to how to use it, and then just be frustrated through the week. And then in addition to that, when we did figure out what to make, we were making that night's meal. Every single time it was making a new meal versus making, 3 batches of it so that we don't have to cook again for those other 2 meals, and we don't have to dirty up dishes again for those other 2 meals, and we can just, very simply put a meal together. Doing this has saved so much time and so much frustration. It takes a little bit of time. It takes me probably about 30 minutes. Brian and I will sit down together. He's making breakfast right now, and when he gets his done, we'll sit down together as we're eating breakfast, and we'll create our meal plan. We'll create our grocery list, and then after church, we'll go to the grocery store. It does take a little bit of time, but it's worth it. Like in the long run, for the time and frustration you save yourself through the week. And when the weekdays come, like, it gets busy, right? Like, it's hard to do that kind of stuff during the week. So on Sunday too, I want to mention, we also, like, as a way to help us, get through the meal prepping and feel okay about it, we do not cook dinner on Sunday night, because ain't nobody got time to be cooking dinner after they've been meal prepping for a couple of hours or an hour or whatever. So we typically on Sunday nights will buy at the grocery store something easy that we can throw in the oven, and something kind of cheap-y. And then we'll have that for dinner Sunday night. And that kind of makes it like kind of like a fun-ish tradition, while still keeping it somewhat healthy and somewhat inexpensive by like making that food at home, right? So that's how we do it. Hopefully that helped you guys. And yeah, I would love to hear what you guys are doing for your meal prep. All right.